technology screens. We're going to talk about we personally don't make anymore, and products that are claiming to be new and up-to-date products that are just technically old products that have been around for a long time. And like I've explained to you before, when it comes to projection screens, high performance screens, and also low performance screens, you always start off with the white screen first. That's the cheaper one. Then you go with the mid gray, which like the cinema gray. Then you'll switch over to something like cinema gray 5. Then after that, it'll go to the Dark Star 9, which is the more expensive screens. So the dark gray screens are the screens that are the up-to-date, more advanced, expensive screens. Those are the ones you cannot go to Amazon. You maybe get one on eBay if someone's selling one, but you're not going to Amazon and picking up one of those screens. You have to go to a special dealership to pick those up. So the screen paint we have before you is called a Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. I'll be posting some links below. You might want to check those links out. Like I said, because I back up everything I do, so check them out. And those links, you will see me say the channel. This is 8 years ago, old screen paint I developed. And you will also see a link for Facebook. Actually, it's a company we were contracted with in Europe. So you will see the page, you will see the company name of there's Digital One Crystal, but you'll see altogether Digital One Crystal Screen Paint, and then you'll see the beta tester display and stuff like that. So that's what you'll see on that page. But as I said before, this is way back 8 years ago when we were developing this stuff. As for the UV mix, we had a screen paint called D5K and D6K. They were 5 years ago. I will post those links, and you will see those paint on demonstrations look a lot like his products that he has now. So as I said before, we have made these products already way back and tested them out in every form of combination you could possibly think of. And this is how we know that the products that he's actually trying to push off now are old and outdated products. All right, so let's grab the projector. Let's get started. Man, I'll tell you one thing, man. When COVID's still here, but when it was at its crazy prime and everything was shut down, it was so hard. In some places it's still slow, but it was so hard to get packages out the door because we had to wait till everything moved shit down on Saturday. We had problems with postal carriers picking up packages. Now with these new carriers that I have, got 4 of them, they change shifts. These guys and ladies have been absolutely amazing. I don't have to do the stack up anymore every Saturday. No more of that. I've been getting my packages out every day, which is fantastic. I got packages going out to Australia today, and it's just great to be able to have it done. It's already out the door. Don't got to worry about it on Saturday. I'm so happy. I don't have to go through that anymore. It's a lot of work when your orders stack up like that. A lot of work. Imagine getting up and you got 60 orders staring you in the face. You gotta go do. You can be very tired that day. It still have to be done. All right, so we're setting up our projector right now. Okie dokie, so now we're all set up and ready to go. We're gonna turn it on. And like I said, the screen paint you're seeing here is Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. We made this 8 years ago. Now, mind you, when you see my demonstrations now, we're just basically, we do a lot of dark technology. Around that era, around 8 years ago, no, it was all light gray screen paint. And I explained to you what changed my opinion, because in my mind, seriously, I thought that gray screens saw contrast. I thought they saw beautiful colors, everything. I really was convinced on that until that sample sheet touched my hand and I saw what I saw, and I was like, nope. John, we gotta change things. We're going in the wrong direction. The screens shouldn't be lighter, they should be darker. And this is where we started working with darker technology. This is right around the time, like I said, on the email we sent you with Screen Innovation attached to it. I was under Digital 4K Crystal Onyx. That's when right around the time where I had to change my company out because, like I said, we were locked in that contract. And I'll put that link below. You'll see the company that we were locked in with, and you'll see all the board of directors and CEOs and everything. Yeah, it was a big thing. It was a 10-year contract. 10 years. And like I said, I'll never do that ever again because, like I said, I learned a lot in business. Be careful. People will try to steal from you any way they can. And that's what happened. Try to steal our company. So any way out of it was basically obsolete my own stuff. That's how I got out of it. When you learn something in life, you do. All right, so first thing we're going to put up on the screen is the personal mix. I told you before in the video, I said I looked at the personal mix and said it looks a lot like our Digital One crystal screen paint we used to make 8 years ago. We'll get something on this. Get you guys a little closer to the screen. That's where you need to be. All right, let's see what we got in our pockets. Today we're going to be outside with 150 inch. I need pictures for that for the website desperately, so we got to be out there for that. All right, so we will start off with just about anything. It really doesn't make a difference at all. We don't have to do color patterns. We did all that stuff already. We'll just grab something. Let's see. 4K demonstrations. Guess you didn't hear that one. 4K demonstrations. No, she's having one of her moments. Let me unplug her, put her back in. She's upset today. I don't know what's going on with her. Got to do these every once in a while with the fire sticks. You got to unplug them, put them back in. Sometimes those voice communications don't want to work. I've never had this problem with a PS4. Yeah, advanced voice recognition software, my foot. Let's see if she'll work again. Now, mind you, that fire stick, if you have one of those, you know that scenery is supposed to be jet black, right? Oh, we did that. We did that on the TV set. Showing off the screen's going to see contrast. All right. Everything's loaded in. Hopefully she starts listening, hopefully. She's got a mind of her own. That's why I have one. I have an actual full-size Lexus over in the corner. I unplugged that thing. Oh, no. I don't leave that thing plugged in. I was watching some TV show and somebody mentioned, they just mentioned somebody by that name. And she says, I'm listening. Yeah, I unplugged it. I'm done. I'm listening for keywords. Really? All right, let's try this one again. See if she's listening. 4K demonstration. And she's listening now. Okay. All right, let's just grab this one right here. If that'll work, doesn't make a difference. We just need to see how close it comes to an 8-year-old screen paint we used to develop way back in the day. Now I'm going to be posting my videos under the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint product. Also, we'll be posting the first demonstration I ever did on YouTube. And I want you to go take a look at that time stamp date at the bottom, and you'll see exactly how old that video is. And this is the reason why, like I said, we don't make this stuff anymore. It's outdated product. So there's the whatchamacallit mix up there. Now next, we're going to put up there the UV mix. We did this demonstration today. The UV mix versus our signature black. This is darkest screen paint, which is the UV mix. So we put it against our darkest screens, which are Black Novas and Signature 17s are the darkest screens we have in here to show off exactly which ones produce the better white levels. As you saw that demonstration, it was our technology. Because the problem is the fact that the screen can't read white light. And that comes from a product that is basically made with something that just does not have any form of science behind it. It's just basically paint. Paint can't read white light. The lighter the screen, the lighter the paint is, of course it's going to read it. But them dark, no, that's not going to happen. You're going to paint the screen brown, it's going to read white light. It's not going to happen. Now you can see the UV mix is coming up on the screen. It is coming up dark. All right, next one we have, we got tape around here for that one. Let's see if we can track down some tape. This is going to be posted to our website. We have a section on our website now for fraud products, fraud projectors, fraud projection screens. And this is where we do our testing, our reviews. We do things thoroughly and by the book, which means there's no poorly lit environments. We can go to rely on basically mixing products with all different forms of chemicals to darken them and just doing all kinds of stuff to cut corners to make a product look good. No, both products are put in the same amount of lighting, which I just showed you when we did UV mix versus the Signature 17. Both screens were laid against white screens. Our screen basically was done a little different because our screen had a acoustic elite screen with a 0.9 gain, and that was a white screen going against a jet black screen. We also did it with the Vivistorm, and on his product, we did an elite screen at a 2.0 gain. And as you saw by those results, that his screen couldn't see white levels and therefore it became dark. Also, too, if you check and see if he has any test demonstrations, which he doesn't, to back up his claim that it doesn't, there are no demonstrations of him taking his product and laying it against a white screen and showing the white levels. None. As I said before, if testing was done correctly, that would have been picked up in testing, and that would have been a problem that could have been corrected, but it never was. I think more likely he was contrast tracing more on the black levels on trying to compete with darker technology, but it's not about contrast when it comes to black screens. It's about those white levels, which are really important because that makes the difference of whether your product comes out so dark that people can't recognize the screen. Screen's automatic going to produce a contrast level. Any black surface will produce a contrast level. That's not the hard part. The hard part is to get the screen to see white levels. That's the hard part. But if he was testing the screen out thoroughly, and I think he was testing the screen out more on contrast levels, which the screen was going to pick up anyway, he should have been leaning more toward how his white levels were actually going to come off the screen, and that's why the image looks so dark. All right, we have now the Metallica Mix 2.0 displayed on the screen against our 8-year-old screen paint. Now, mind you, this is a product I don't even support. I don't support digital and crystal screen paint in any way whatsoever. It is outdated, old technology. We don't make it anymore, period, because it's old. Now we got a piece of this, of the digital crystal screen paint, painted on screen. That later on today, I'm going to go around the entire house and put it against all our screens, and you will see, like I said before in the last demonstration, our screens will crush it with no problem. Even when I take it outside and put it against a 150-inch Black Nova, which will be outside today, Black Nova will crush that screen with no problem. That's why we don't make it. And that's why you have to think. If we have technology that dates back 8 years ago, that's considered to be old technology, and right now it's beating some of its screens and blending in some of them, and this technology couldn't hold a candle against what we have now, then what makes you think that he was able to beat anything that we have today? There you go. Something to think about. Just something to think about. That's why we're fate. Look at the UV mix, look how dark it's coming up. Look at the other screen paints, how they're blending in with no problem. There's the personal mix right down the corner, right there, right there. When I made that statement that I could make your product, wasn't joking. I literally could make it because we made it 8 years ago. Like I said, these are simple, like I said, I can tell you now because like I said, we're making more, but these are simple screen paints, very simple. Like even my own, I'm saying my own too. They're simple screen paints. You saw me make it on YouTube, I made it live. I took half of it and we put some gray primer in it. You can use Bear 1050 and we use Martha Stewart. That's what we used at the time. And a little bit of gold glitter, that's it. So I can guarantee, I can tell you all the combinations that all his products are made out of because we made every last combination 8 years ago when we were making this kind of paint. So I know in fact that when it comes to the UV mix, a product that dark, there's nowhere in the world you're going to start the base off as white. Because you know how much black paint you have to add in just to darken it? You would get a mid-gray if you added in maybe like a couple of cups of black paint. You would have to start off with a base that's a dark gray and then add black into it. There you go. See where I'm getting at? We've done this already. Now as for the other ones in between, pretty much they're either white or gray. They're going to put a black paint in it just to tone it. If they wanted to start it off with a mid-gray, a good mid-gray, they would start off with a white base first and then add black into it and then tone it there. That's why when you look at his products, they all look the same because they're only off by tone by basically how much black paint is put into that white base. That's why in the video demonstration where he displays how to make the product, he deleted the video. Because in that video shows how he actually makes the product. That's why he doesn't do any test demonstrations. If you look at my old videos when I first started off, we didn't do any of those demonstrations. 22 feet back with a 1,000 lumen projector? Oh, heck no. Oh, no, that wouldn't have went too well. What's another one? Starfield demonstrations? No, we didn't do Starfield demonstrations. We did some contrast demonstrations you would see. But at that particular time, you know, I honestly believed that the contrast levels on the screen was good. Not until I saw what I saw. Then I realized that, yeah, some things have to change. If you're designing a light gray screen, you're going to have to back it up on how it's different from everything else. That's why we did the ultralight grays. If you look at their demonstrations, those demonstrations are done against certified screens. Those demonstrations are done against primer. Those demonstrations are done on solid color levels, on white levels, on contrast levels. We do a lot of contrast levels on that screen. And you can see the difference between that gray technology and that gray technology. That's why you need those tests. If not, they will categorize you as everybody else. Now, what put the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint on the map is at that particular time, everybody was doing demonstrations in the dark. Just about everybody. Except for Goose Screen. Goose Screen has some demonstrations were done in fully lit environments. So that's where we started developing a technology under Digital One that can produce images in a fully lit environment. Now, today, are you kidding me? You rarely see too many demonstrations in really dark environments. They make projectors 10 times more powerful than what they did when I was coming up. Then project 3,200 lumen. If you had a 3,000 lumen projector, you had a serious projector. Now people have projectors way over that. My ultra short, though, sitting on the floor with 36. So you should not be doing, this time, you should not be doing demonstrations in the dark. Look at that, see? That's an 8-year-old product, matching this product. So yes, this product is outdated. If you don't believe me on how expensive the gunmetal or the more darker screens are, do your research. Go do your research. Pop over. I'm not a big fan of ABS forums, but pop over to ABS forums and chat with them for a little bit. Ask them, what's more expensive, a gray screen or a dark gray screen? They'll tell you right from the door, dark gray screen are better screens. They're the more high performance, high-end screens. You see very few people with 120 to 150 inch of one of these screens. Mind you, 100 inch of one of these screens would cost you $5,000. So what would a 150 inch cost you? There you go. All right, let's go swap out and get some more stuff. Let's go through the colors right here. Now see where screen pulls the contrast level, but the colors are coming up too dark. The reds are not supposed to be that dark. And again, he's blending into our 8-year-old paint. Now we'll stop right there, on there, okay? This is the up-to-date technology we developed, including gunmetal in that next room over there. Now, you take his product, right? Stick it against dark screen, right there, okay? Take our projector, and we just swing it on over. There you go. See? You have to have contrast. Contrast is very important. That's why the darker screens cost a lot of money. Because they can produce contrast, they can produce color, and all that pops. But even with the technology we tested these screens under, these screens have been tested against certified screens. Screens that cost you $5,000 and $6,000. And we were able to actually beat those screens with no problem. This technology is outdated. Much like the product we have over there is outdated. It's old. Old technology. Old. All right, hold on for a minute. See if we can find it. Got a bad habit of sticking things in places they're not supposed to be at. That is my problem. You have one. Just gotta locate where we put it. Is that on the floor? Nope. Didn't want to hit that way. I need those. Let's see what we have over here. All right, here we go, we found it. Now, this is the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint that we made 8 years ago. All right. All right, this is the 8-year-old screen paint we made versus our technology now. See? Old. Told you. I put that on any screens around here. Our screens would crush that stuff. Anything we have in that decade, in that time, no. The technology we have now is way beyond this stuff. See how it matches back and forth? This is how your reds are supposed to look on your projection screen. That's how they're supposed to look. This is why you're told to calibrate your projector. And this is my own product, and I'm telling you that it's no good. Right there, 8 years ago product. That's why this product is outdated. As I said before, we made this stuff 8 years ago. Let's go switch over to the other screen. So yeah, ask yourself real quick. It's about a 147-inch screen. What would you rather have to look at all day long? Our technology or this? Even our digital one crystal screen paint. And yes, it is digital crystal screen paint. So I just blend it into the screen. Same paint. I always paint a smaller sample sheet. So that way, that. I paint a smaller sample. I paint a smaller sample sheet so that way I can have something to put against all my screens. My screen technology we have now would fade that screen and no problem whatsoever. We can produce better colors, contrast on a level that screen couldn't begin to even think of. Like I said, it's basic. At that particular time, all the formulas for screen paint were basic. Gray and black, black and gray, white and black. Sometimes the people add a little silver to it. Sometimes they put a little gold into it. Sometimes they put some little silver glitter into it. They all had so many different combinations some people were doing at that particular time 8 years ago. Now you got to do things a little differently. Because then if you look at the test then basically, you just had to have an ambient light environment. That's pretty much it. Or that's what we were doing. But most of the tests back then were done in real dark environments, and they were using their projectors. And like I said, go back and check out the old YouTube videos back in the day, and 8 years ago, on how they did projection screen setups, and you will see. But yeah, that's how it was. So now today, it's more demanding. Now you got to have ambient light controlled environments, and well, actually not ambient light controlled environments. Today, I'm still think that the demonstrations that there are just sad, and I think they are, because a lot of the big companies right now are still doing demonstrations in very poorly lit environments, which, especially for the caliber and technology they have under their projectors, that should not be so. All right, so let's finish through this so we can show you how old this is. And I just want to show you, because some people will ask from the door, like, oh wait, okay, so how does your old screen paint compare to the new stuff? And that's why we show you that right there. It matches the products that people think today are considered to be new screen paints. They're not. They're just old products. All right, let me see where we put the remote control at so we can continue on with this. I need to figure out where I put it. And last time I wasn't in here. I had a bad habit of walking with remote control. All right, here we go. So we'll keep that going. Pretty sure I turned out my lights in fact. Check that right now. Now, as I said before, with these screens, these lighter screens, one thing they can't pick up is contrast. They can pick up bright levels, can't see contrast. Next to black technology or darker technology we develop, they can't see color and they can't see contrast. You know, you check nice and close, you can see. And right there, or let me pause that for a minute. Well, you can see it right there. You can see the trace out. There's personal mix. No, that's the Metallica mix over there. I was off. That's the Metallica mix. That's the personal. So we can see this up close. So that way, you know, I'm not pouring any wool over your eyes. That's the personal mix. That's the Metallica mix right there. That's the UV mix. So as I said before, in the videos where you were explaining that this was supposed to be state-of-the-art screen paint that gave you the best, no. It's 8-year-old paint. That's what it is. And I can literally write down all the combinations on how it's made because, like I said, we used to make it. See, can't pick up the contrast. That level right there is supposed to be black when it comes up. Show the hanger with the vehicle and all that other good stuff. Look, getting ready to go outside. It's already getting set up. 150-inch Black Nova. Going outside to play. Now we're going to take our Digital One crystal screen paint out there. There's no point taking these outside, to tell you the truth. They're not going to be able to pull up next to a black screen outside. They're not. But we're going to show you why this stuff is outdated, why we don't use it. Well, you can see that right there already for 16 or 16. Like I said, when D5Ks were made, D5K, should I tell you how D5K was developed? No, I don't do that. I'll leave some mystery in there. We'll just show you how the Digital One crystal, we showed you how the Digital One crystal screen paint was made. They're all made the same way. Now see, the problem you have here with the UV mix is it's showing up the contrast levels, but anytime it hits anything with bright colors, it becomes dark. You can't have that. You have to have a balance there of white levels. See, when it hits the car, you can see the contrast. The minute it bounces off the car, hits any white levels, it turns dark. Has to be a balance there. See, look. Has to be a balance. You need to have a balance. I love this screen so much. I'm gonna do a PS4. God, I wish I could get my hands on the PS5, but it's not gonna happen. All right, so how the video should look. Background's supposed to come up in black first. Because that's if you go when I showed you on the TV. The demonstration on the TV, the contrast levels, the background comes up in black. When I showed you on the TV the demonstration with the OLED, the background comes up in black. There shouldn't be any dark spots on the screen. You should see a combination of contrast and white levels at the same time. See that? You can see both contrast and white levels at the same time. If you have a screen that's displaying contrast, but when it comes to the white levels it's too dark, there's a problem there. You're supposed to see clean white levels, and you're supposed to see contrast at the same time. Yeah, the sad thing about it is you can't teach anybody anything, certain people like that, because they always come full glass. People with full glass can't learn nothing. They know everything. See how the screen turns dark when it hits the white levels? It's not supposed to do that. That UV, if that screen had proper white levels in it, you should be to pick all that up crystal clear and the contrast at the same time. The black level is way too high. There you go. Let's go over and let's grab, what else can we get? Let's do this. This is a personal favorite that likes to be done. I see what I'm saying, but it looks great. Yes, matching 8-year-old paint. That's what it's doing. It's matching an 8-year-old screen paint. Or some of it is. The rest of it's just being, it's not going too well. UV Mix is actually struggling against Digital One Crystal screen paint, and it's 8 years old. All right, let's try those contrast levels. Starfield demonstration. There we go, right from the door. Thank you. So the only screen that's going to pick up the Starfield correctly is the UV Mix. Like I said, with the UV Mix, it pulls in a heavy contrast level. Contrast level is way too heavy. And like I said, this is the way it's made. It's made the way old screen paints are made. Like I said, the only thing they do is they just take a dark gray, they put a lot of black into it. That's how they make it. See, it'll pull contrast level, just can't pull anything else. Let's go over to White Screensaver Snow. See if we can get the doggies to come up. There we go. And here we go, next to our Digital One. You can see where the screen paints. Well, actually, one's matching much better. Now, the one that would have a hard, because like I said, Digital One Crystal screen paint was a really light screen paint, and it was a very light screen paint. Very light. Now, as you can see, these are actually matching very close to the Digital Crystal screen paint product. Like I said, that was made 8 years ago. And as for the UV Mix, as I said before, it can't pick up white levels at all, period. it is really going to struggle. And that's why I said be careful of products that claim to have the ability to pull a white level and can't, or basically concentrate too much on the contrast levels. And you can see how close these two screens come in to our product. And so we made these 8 years ago. Philips 4K demonstration. Let's go with this one right over here. And you'll see UV Mix is going to struggle with this because, like I said, it can't pull a white level. The other screens are going, either one's going to blend. I think the one's going to blend in will be the Personal Mix. The Metallica Mix, actually, I was wrong. No, Metallica Mix is blending in much better than our 8-year-old screen paint. That's why I have you up close on the screen so you can see it for yourself. Now this is how I review products. Like I said, me doing a review is going to be brutal against your screen. And like I said, it's going to be fair, but it's going to be brutal. If you haven't been doing your tests correctly on your products, we will put those through the test. And if it can handle, it can handle. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But our tests are going to be brutal, and our reviews are going to be brutal. Going to run it through everything under the sun. Like I said, run it through the grinder. Run it through the grinder. Skyward demonstration. We'll start off with this one right here. Start from the beginning. Run it all the way through. willing to bet that Cinemax will match her screen in here. I think it will. This is a very light gray screen. I guarantee you, it'll match it. We had a white screen paint under our technology too, 8 years ago. Extremely light screen. I think I put those two together. This one, it'll match it. The dark onyx. When Black Diamond contacted us, our company was under our company, Digital 4K Crystal Onyx. Told you, we got videos to back up everything that I talk about. Yeah, a company under Crystal, the Digital 4K Crystal Onyx. That's right on top of the email. If you look at the when we got contacted by Screen Innovation right around that time. That was on the email, Digital 4K Crystal Onyx. And that's how we got rid of the other company to get rid of the 10-year contract. And there's the video right there, 5 years ago. It all adds up. Everything I'm saying will add up. Do your research, you'll watch it all add up. That's right around the time we started working with Black Technology. Let me look at this screen for a bit. I'm going to check at this screen.
Hey, how you guys doing up there? My name is Bird. I basically am the designer on digital and crystal screen paint. The last couple weeks I've been shooting some interesting videos.
Look how old these videos are.
Now we're going to do this demonstration for the room as usual.
For the environment.
Using the
Humi 200 lumen projector for that demonstration. We're always just pushing the bar, always pushing the bar to get to do better things.
Go back over here to my some keyboard.
In that little tiny room.
Demonstration before, but never on this large scale.
Did it on a 200 lumen projector on a dark screen.
Light right here. Got some light over there. As you can see, the screen is coming up nice and bright.
Do you know how much people paid for that technology when we first developed it? You wouldn't believe if I told you. First of its kind of a black screen paint on the market. I was making $900 a quart for that technology. Because it was the first one of its kind. 5 years ago. Crow didn't even know we even existed. No one knew we existed 5 years ago. But we had that technology. And hear from his reviews on our up-to-date newer technology that's far more advanced than this. He's talking about how dark it is, but we were doing that on a 200 lumen Humi projector in a fully lit environment. Or sorry, 300, my bad. See, that's the problem. He doesn't know how far we go back, how many ties we're connected to, people we're connected to, companies with. He doesn't know how far we go back. We have a history on us. He doesn't have a history at all. That's why he's matching an 8-year-old product that we don't make anymore. Let's go over to the food demonstration. Well, one's matching it, one's coming close to it, and the other one basically, well, you know where that's landed. The UV mix is just not picking up on anything. It picks up on contrast, but I told you, white level and dark. The contrast levels are way, way, way too high. And I know what triggers that, because we had, like I told you, when you make combinations of paints, so many of them, I mean, we made a lot of them, you start figuring out what's going to work and what's not going to work from testing. And I know for a fact that if you mix gray and black together, it can't pull white level. It can't see it. I know this because the only thing it can pull is contrast. That's why I said buyer beware, because he's trying to pass this off as something new and something he just developed and something he just made. It's supposed to be so high tech. Yeah, right. We had it 8 years ago. It's not high tech at that particular time. 8 years ago, yeah, it was very high tech. Now, no, no. Especially when you know what's in it.
A new view. Coffee I didn't have to make. A soft, comfy Hilton.
I'm gonna let this run. I gotta do something real quick. All right, so I don't want to add this in here, but keep in mind, you know who has claimed to got a letter from our attorneys. Next video, we will be asking them a series of questions on who are the attorneys who sent the question, the letter, and so forth. Because as I said before, we haven't received our draft yet, and we have to have a draft to look over it because there's a few things that have to be added into those documents before they're officially notarized and sent off. So we want to see all that. We also will be dubbing the video because we'll be doing a whole segment on that, on basically the lies that this particular individual constantly generates. So I will have my draft soon. I will present the attorneys that will be over top the draft and also some of the information. And let's see if it matches up with what he says. This should be interesting. But anyway, let's move on from there. Right now, like I said, when he avoids conflict, he does video games, reviews on products and stuff like that. The bottom line at the end of the day, his product is a scam. We made this stuff 8 years ago. This is a Digital One Crystal screen paint product right here that we have on the larger screen. It is outperforming his UV mix with no problem. It is blended into his Metallica mix and personal mix. And the product he has is old. Like I said, at that particular time, all people did was basically mix black and white paint together. That's what they did. I will be posting on the website the video that was deleted showing the 2 tablespoons to make the product, and then we will display the Crystal H video right here on the website, warning our customers to be very careful of this individual, because like I said, the products that he is claiming to have all this high-tech capability and everything, it's old. It's old. Been there, we done it already. Look how our white, even our white levels are coming up slightly better, but it's old. And if you're showing an 8-year-old paint that basically is showing improvements, that's not good. So yes, Crow Fernando, Crow 1176. Your product is outdated. It's old. You need to come up with something new. This is, like I said, I can bring back, I think I have my old recipes for my own Digital One Crystal screen paints. I can bring those back to life. And I can show you where we could match and dominate your products on a product that's 8 years old easily. And I'm pretty sure we have a screen called Ultra White. Oh, I forgot about that stuff. I wonder if I could track that down. The Ultra White. We have an Ultra White. It's literally seriously like a seriously bright white screen paint. Oh, that thing would definitely blend that Cinemax with no problem whatsoever. Like I said, these recipes are old recipes. Everybody was doing it. You had something called the YouTube paint. I remember that when it came out. It was pearl essence and gray paint or whatever it was. A lot of people were using that. You had people that were painting their screens with straight bare silver screen. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I need to buy some bare silver screen and do a matchup too also.
We don't need meat to make an incredible sandwich. So let's make this grilled halloumi and vegetable sandwich.
So this stuff is old.
Join me on this machine here.
Here you are with an up-to-date projector and you got a screen paint that's 8 years old. Think about that.
I'm going to get my resealable plastic bag and I'm going to put my whole marinade in here, reduce the mess as much as possible.
J&K 4K demonstrations. And would I use Digital One Crystal screen paint? No. For what? Why would I even begin to use it for? There's nothing we could use it with. Nothing. Colors are bad. Contrast is bad. The white levels are good, but that's basically about it. Can't do anything else with it. There you go. See how dirty the reds come up? Reds aren't supposed to be that dirty. They're supposed to be bright and vivid, but they're supposed to be deep. I'm gonna find my old labels from my Digital One Crystal screen paint and print them out and put them on my whatchamacallit. So when we do side by sides, I can show you my old labels from back in the day. Old labels from back. I think I still got them too. I gotta find them. I always keep one on file, but I'm gonna print one out. We're gonna show off the label of our 8-year-old screen paint versus the 2021 or 2022 or 2019 product or whatever you're supposed to have here versus our 8-year-old product. And we'll put the ingredients at the bottom. If you want to make the digital crystal screen paint, knock yourself out. I really don't care, to tell you the truth, because like I said, it can't compete with anything we make around here. So to us, it's, you can have it. We don't care. And this is not making his product. This is making our product, because that belongs to us. And somebody said, well, you're giving out this. No, we wouldn't be giving out this product. If we made it 8 years ago, it's ours. And if that's the case, then mind you, that would be ours too, wouldn't it? If possession was 9/10 of the law, that would be our product too. Because we would have the demonstrations and everything to back up that we made it first. If that was the case. We got beta testers who have tested the digital and crystal screen paint. Companies that were signed under contracts that are on display, they all put at the bottom. You'll see something that says Digital One Crystal Europe. Click on that. Look through that page. You'll see the board of directors, like I said, the CEOs. They show the parties that they had. Yeah, our company. 10-year global contract is what this stuff was tied to before everything went a little crazy. So yeah, we do have the right to give it away, because like I said, to us, it's not considered to be a threat. It's not going to take money out of, it's not going to take money out of my pocket to give this stuff away. Really not. Doesn't match anything we have around here. Everything we have around here is far more advanced than this. 8 years old. And a video of me basically posting you how to make it, that ain't coming down. I'm not deleting that for what? What do I have to delete that for? Everything we have over there is more superior than what I just showed you how to make for free. Unlike someone who deleted a video that basically was his design to make his product. Because if it wasn't no threat to him, he would have never deleted the video. So here we have two people, we have two screen paints that are showing you how to make it. I showed you how to make the Digital One Crystal screen paint. That video is going to stay up there forever. I don't care, because everything I have is better than it. Where he had a video that showed you how to make a product and he deleted it. Because maybe what was in that video basically showed you how to make the product. And it did, because that's how we made the personal mix. What I find interesting is the fact that that was the Metallica mix, I think. He didn't add any metallic to that. No silver, nothing to it. How do you call it a Metallica mix if you never added any silver or nothing to it whatsoever? Where in our video, we did add it. And I'm not seeing any huge significant difference between your stuff and the 8-year-old screen paint we had 8 years ago. The only screen I see up here that's struggling is that UV mix, and it's coming up dark on every level. It's pulling contrast levels, but when it comes up to everything else, it comes up dirty. There we go right there. White Pro screen paint mix are 8 years outdated. They are. Look how well they match. Let's get Sony 4K demonstration. Oh, Oh, here's another one. Here's a good one. Now, today, or probably tomorrow, maybe likely tomorrow, we're going to take the sample sheet we made of the digital and crystal screen paint, and we're going to test it on all our screens we have here in the house and see if any one of these screens can match that technology. I showed you a sample of what's going to happen when we put it against a Signature 17. But let's just run it through the grinder. We got a blue screen in the kitchen, an exotic blue in the kitchen. We got a magenta in the kitchen. We got a magenta purple screen upstairs, a black royal. We got a gunmetal in the room over here. Upstairs, we got a Nebula, I think Nebula on the black screens, the 21s. We got one of those in the gaming room. We got two acoustics, Signature 17s in the Japanese tea room. And then in the tech room, we have a Black Nova room. And then in the tech room, we have a Black Nova on the wall, Black Nova on the motorized projection screen. Of course, I already mentioned 135 magenta. And then we have a Black Nova outside on the deck. And soon we'll have the 250, but for right now, we're going to do the 150 outside. That's what we're going to do. Let's go with, let me see. Let's try. Let's just some scenery, some tropical scenery.
Did you know the source of odor in your home could be all your soft surfaces?
And I'm showing you that up close. This is where you're usually going to sit anyway. Where you should be sitting.
Fabric refresher for an all-over freshness you'll love.
I'll put you up close so that way you can get a good view of it all. All right, we're going to take the UV mix off because we know it's not going to match this. This is just bringing up too much dark levels. That's not any good. We're going to need the two light skin screen. There looks two light skin. Two light paints up here. Because the UV mix is just not going to bring in, it's going to bring a contrast level, but the white levels are extremely poor. This is the personal mix and the Metallica mix 2.0. We need to do a review on the Cinemax. We need to bring it over here and see how well it blends into our digital and crystal screen paint. Our 8-year-old screen paint. I know some of you are going to be saying, well, do a demonstration with the lights out. You'll see a difference. Really? You really want to go down that road? Are you kidding me? Lights out? It's easier. It's harder for a screen to do a demonstration with the lights on. The lights out? All right, you got it. We'll have one tonight. Lights out demonstration only. Pitch black. And we'll do that demonstration. And you're literally going to see the screen blend into it. Right now, it's doing it right now with that over there. But yeah, it's 8 years old. 8-year-old product. I'm going to see if I can find my old labels and print them up. Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. See if they can dig it up. There we go. Remember When he claimed to bring out his own blue screen paint, we had the sky blue 6 years ago. Did you know that? It was called sky blue. We had that technology 6 years ago. See right here? That's a D5K. Look at the color of it. That's a D5K 5 years ago. That's a great screen paint we developed 5 years ago. Did this stuff already. Been there, done it already. D6K. Look at the color of the D6K product. And then the UV mix. That was developed 5 years ago. See, our history goes back. So, like I said, we've been doing this for a long time. Wow, forgot about all these, man. It's a long time, people. Look at this. Rear projection screen paint. We developed it first 7 years ago. 7 years ago, that stuff was developed. When Crow claimed he made that product. Yeah, even if, like I said, he goes in, he does everything we do. Period. There's me right there. Painting the screen on the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint.com right there. 8 years ago there. DigitalCrystalScreenPaint.com. 8 years ago.
Hello, my name is Ken, and I'm the designer of Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. Now,
I'm going to put this at the bottom of the link.
someone tell me I put my kids coming and destroy my screen now. Basically, 300 to 400.
That's me right there. That's interesting. Hold on for a minute. I was trying to, I think I hit the wrong button again. I hate this freaking, the buttons are so close together on your freaking Fire Stick. All right, let's go back again on that. Show you something really weird, people. That's me 8 years ago. I'm not a pretty man, so I know that already. I'm 53 years old now. But that was me 8 years ago. We age very slowly in our family. Could be vampires, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, vampires. Yeah, that was me 8 years ago. Doing a demonstration for my company under DigitalOneCrystalScreenPaint.com. These are some of the first demonstrations. I gotta find my first one, the really first one. Oh, that thing is so old. Gonna put my charger in real quick. There we go, I was at 5%. Yep. That's me right there, people. In a little tiny rented room with Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. This is before I got my global contract. Let me go and let's do the paint job on the screen so you can see the color of the paint. Let me see if I grab the containers first. That's me marking up the screen. It's me drawing all over the screen. Because at that particular time, you got to remember, Goose Screen was the biggest screen on the market. And Goose Screen's requirement was that you had to sand a wall down. And it had to be primed, it had to be clean before you can actually put their application on. This is where we started having some problems with ABS forms. So in there, we basically did a demonstration where I marked the wall, I spray painted all over the wall, marked it up with pens, smeared ketchup, mustard all over the wall, went in with a rag, cleaned it off the best way I could, boop, 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 painted over top of it, done, watch the video of it. They didn't like that. Told you, you got to do things differently, different than what anybody else was doing. Everybody wanted to follow behind Goose Screen and follow that same robot formation where, oh yeah, you got to do this and got to do that. No, we're not going down that road. We're going to do something the complete opposite of what y'all doing. Just design a screen paint that we can just roll over any surface we want. And now today, what do we say? Paint whatever you want. That's why we have motorized projection screens, cloth screens, whatever we want. Because at that particular time, you couldn't paint that surface, or you couldn't paint a fixed frame screen, or you couldn't paint a motorized projection screen. It was unheard of. We started going and doing all that, painting fixed frame screens, motorized projection screens, styrofoam, wood, glass, plexiglass, brick, you name it. You can see in the videos. I remember one of the funnest demonstrations I ever did. We had a styrofoam screen. Everybody was staring at it, and I just broke off a piece of styrofoam and said, "Look, it's styrofoam." Yeah, we started all that. Look at the color of that. To this day, if you look at my demonstrations compared to everybody else, we're different. Man, that was a long, long time ago. A long, long time ago. So from those demonstrations, I didn't have 40 and 50 projectors. Didn't have Chrissy's, didn't have Sony's, didn't have Panasonics. We didn't have any of that. I was lucky to be able to get my hands on a couple of 2,000 lumen NEC projectors, which I had one NEC, and I had a Pico projector. I had a small Pico projector around 300 lumens. That was it. That's all I had. In this room, working. Doing things different than nobody else wanted to do. That's where sacrifice comes in. Some people don't understand that. They don't understand how that works. But the demonstration is not about that. The reason why I went back and showed you that is to show you how old this product is. 8 years ago, this product was made. 8 years ago. And here we are matching it with a product that's claiming to be new technology, state-of-the-art technology. Yeah, okay, sure. That's why it's blending into our stuff. This is going to be the last video. I need to upload this onto the website. And we have a section on our website for fraud. On knockoff projectors, we do not support at all, period. Keep in mind, we do not support these projectors. We have demonstrations I've done on a few of these projectors, warning you why we don't do them. A few projection screens that we've had some real jacked up issues with that and losing money on, couldn't get our money back for them. So, you know, a lot of people think all fixed frame screens are the same. No, they're not. So we'll tell you a little bit about the spring support system on the back of the screen, the tension rails, and the metal brackets that are supposed to attach the screen together. Some are made out of plastic, and them things will snap on you as you're putting your screen together. And then, like I said, projection screen paints that cut corners and don't do the demonstrations correctly. It's 1 minute to say it, it's another to prove it. And the only way we can prove it is doing demonstrations such like this. And we have no problem throwing our technology in the mix with it. Got no problem with that. As you can see how my screen looks when it comes to white levels, it's actually outstanding for a surface that black to do that. And yet his UV mix can't see white levels at all. Now usually, like I said, in his demonstrations, he'll pick, of course you're going to take a light gray screen. It's going to have an advantage point over a black screen. Just like a black screen having contrast levels, it's going to have an advantage point over a gray screen. It's going to happen. Exploiting that. So guess what we do now? Now we bring up one of our old technologies, our gray screen paints. Mind you, as I said before to this individual, I'm not going to say it that way, that'd be wrong to say. But I'm saying I'm an expert in my field when it comes to this stuff because we did it 8 years ago. That's how I know how to design this stuff. On every level, I know how your product is made because we were doing this stuff 8 years ago. Again, how many different combinations of screen paints we have mixed together. And mind you, I didn't know anything about black technology at that time, so anything I knew was gray. So I've come to this stuff. So that's how I know his product. That's why we're sitting here right now live, and you got an 8-year-old product blended into a product that's claiming to be the new state-of-the-art product. It's not. Now the reason why you got caught was because statements that you were making were really not true. There is no way in the world that this product that you make is going to be able to withstand a contrast level of a black screen or a gunmetal or a darker screen. That's virtually impossible. And then the fact that this individual was doing demonstrations where he was turning on the lights when it came to the darker contrast levels, and then putting the lights on when it came to the more bright, beautiful colors, moving the camera around to make it look like the screen was well lit. You're comparing your technology against a screen that are designed to be ambient light rejection, which they have backed them up on what our technology can do, where you claim your product is not ambient light rejection. Overpowered projectors, poorly lit environments. This is what puts you on the map of us basically now reviewing your products on our level. And we're going to dig up our old technology from 8 years ago to do it. To show you that your product not only is old and outdated, and pretty much anybody can make it. There's no test behind it. We didn't have any test behind our products when we made it. Just simply just have the lights on. That's basically what you just saw in the demonstration. That's it. But the new stuff we have now, oh man, you can throw everything at it and that stuff will smile back at you. That's why those tests have to be done. See exactly how much pressure and how much stress the screens can take, because we know they have that capability. We're not going to cakewalk it. We're not going to freaking hold the screen's hand in the process. But what you have, already know what it is. That's why you don't have no tests on your products, because it won't pass. There's no way in the world that you could do a demonstration on a Cinemax showing contrast levels in a fully lit environment, because whatever screen you use, that screen's going to pull up that black level regardless. It could be black paper, black vinyl, a black sheet. It's going to pull up a contrast level regardless. Your screen's not going to do it. So since you fake so many demonstrations, so many reviews on other people's products, we're going to put yourself out in the light now. Your product is old, and half of the demonstrations you do are definitely fake. This product can't see contrast, including our own. Can't see contrast, can't see color. It can see a white level, that's it. And I'm not just talking about your stuff, I'm talking about my stuff and your stuff together. It can't see it. And the UV mix, well, that stuff can't pick up only contrast levels. It can't pull a white level. It can't see it. contrast levels are way too high. When we did that test earlier today versus my signature black on showing white levels. Now, usually, like I said, when we made darker products back in the day, 8 years ago, like I said, you can't use a white base. I'll tell you that from the door. You can't use a white base. A white base means how you start your product to begin with, what color the base is going to be. So usually they start with bare 1050, or they might start it with a white base, like any kind of white paint, whatever, whatsoever. That's what they'll use. Sometimes to make the screen lighter, they'll use a gray paint, and they'll mix in a white paint, and they'll mix in gray paint, and they'll use the gray paint as the toner. Other ways they'll do it, they'll take white paint and they'll use the black paint as a toner. If they want the paint dark, like a UV, like you're seeing right here, then what they'll do is they'll basically start off with a dark gray, and then they'll add the black into it. If you do this with the white, what's going to happen is you're going to have to dump a ton of black paint in there in order to get it to the color you want. And you're still going to be thrown off because now you're just going to get a gray. That's it. Now you got to turn the gray into a darker gray. And you're going to just waste too many resources doing it. So the best way to do it is to start off with a dark gray and add your black in and tone it from there. That's developing the base. So like I said, we know all this stuff because this is what we had to do when we were developing different products under digital and crystal screen paint. Now some people say, well, I can develop a black screen. Hey, knock yourself out. Be my guest, because you have no idea how difficult that is. Keep in mind, like I said, your white levels have to be a certain level. When you see me turn that projector on and I look at the screen and the white levels pop up, there's a certain level I'm looking for. Now, in your eyes, if you're not keen to look for that certain level, you're not going to see it. You're going to miss it. Because in your eyes, you're looking for a bright white level. That's not what you're supposed to be looking for. You're not supposed to be looking for a bright white level. You're supposed to be looking for a certain tone in that white level. Because that means your screen now has the possibility to pull a white level, a black level, and deep colors without either one of the parties suffering. But if your white levels are too high, your contrast levels drop and your color drops. And then once you get that figured out, like I said, then you're going to have to figure out whether or not these formulas you put together, whether they're going to marry well, which means you're going to test under heat, you're going to test under cold. Will your cans implode in the heat? Yeah, we have cans we set outside and we have them inside containers to see how much heat it's going to take to make a can implode. Drop containers off the side of 11-foot drops to see if the containers will bust open. I even have packages that I boxed up and I kicked down my driveway to see how much punishment a package could take before it actually basically tears open. All kinds of stuff. You got to run all those tests. And then under your own product, you got to figure out if you use a 43 or 5300 lumen projector, will your screen hotspot? So it means you got to show nice white snow demonstrations, because then your gain levels could be way too high and you could turn around and you could hotspot the daylights out of your screen. Got to think about that one too. Caliber of projector, 1000 lumen projector. Will your screen see a projector at 22 feet back? Will it pick up the image? And not only pick up the image, can it outperform several certified screens in the same process of producing the color red or blue or green or yellow? You know what I mean? I'm getting at there. That's how complicated it gets. Then depending on how much light you have in the environment, how much is going to disrupt the projector. So you have to do a distance throw. Projector sits back 22 feet. 22 feet, 1000 lumens has to travel, make contact with the screen. Depending on how much ambient light is in the environment, depends on how much lumens you have before it makes contact with the screen. Depending on how high the screen is, depends on how much light can generate from the screen, how high is the gain. Because say you walk off with maybe about 10 lumens makes it to the screen. That screen's going to have to pick up those 10 lumens and magnify that to a bright enough image so you can see the image coming back at you. Doesn't sound that easy, does it? And that's just the inside test. We haven't got outside yet. Because now outside, consider the fact that your 1000 lumen projector, the ambient light has multiplied and it's ripping apart your ambient light before your lumens before it makes contact with the screen, depending on how long the distance throw is. And the screen is taking in more ambient light on top of that. And you're going to produce all those images, and they're going to have to come up crystal clear from corner to corner to corner. No tannish here, no tannish there, corner to corner. And you're going to have to pull that off on 180 degrees or 190 degrees on 1,000 lumens. Now, how magnificent is my Lord and Savior? We can develop this technology in less than 30 minutes, have it pass all tests on the same day live, and have a product by the next day. And we could do this over and over and over again and again and again and again and again. Oh, and I forgot about the caliber of projectors. You got ultra short throw, you got laser, you got LED, you got LCD. Any one of them could have a bad reaction on the screen. Yep. So knock yourself out when it comes to black technology. You have to pass all those tests. And all those tests have to be done live so everybody can see it without one mistake. If you think that was crazy, try making a screen that's green or red or purple and can change its colors. So yeah, it gets crazy. Okay, so we already know this is not, this pulls up contrast, that's it. As for the rest of the screens we have up here, bottom line is, like I said, they're blended into an 8-year-old paint. So it just tells you right on the door that the product that you are getting from this individual is old. It's an old product. We used to make this stuff back in the day. And like I said, everybody else had their own different blends they made back in the day. But it all started off with that base. Either your base was gray, either your base was white, or yeah, gray or white. Is two things your base would be. Interesting. 4K demonstrations. Let's tidy this up. Pretty soon I got to be outside today with that. I checked on we got everything set up perfectly. I'm charging up the battery pack in the next room. We got the projectors downstairs, speakers, everything set up to do a demonstration outside. We'll do this one as the last one. So we're good to go. So we're going to be showing that off because I got a bunch of demonstrations to do off that screen because on the website we're setting up for outdoor demonstrations. We're going to go on Amazon. We're going to buy some cheap projection screen, old outside setups. It's going to be cheap because it's going to be a white screen, and we're going to turn them into OLED screens, OLED projection screens outside, and just have amazing images pumping off of them. It's going to look amazing, absolutely amazing. Look at that! Look at that! See, there you go. So yes, this product is 8 years old. And the product we made, and how we made the, like I said, digital one. I mean, you can't find Martha Stewart anymore. Good luck on that one. But any silver Metallica paint's gonna work. You can use PPJ. I mean, if you're gonna go down that route, tell you the truth, and I'm telling you my ingredients. Don't get it twisted, because some of you guys will get it twisted by saying, "Oh, he's telling off his ingredients." How would I know his ingredients? Think about that one. I'm telling you what the digital one crystal screen paint is. So anyway, it is half. You can use Bear 1050, gray Bear 1050. That's all. Silver screen it. That's all you got to do. Silver screen it. Half Bear 1050. Silver screen it. And then, well, that's what silver screen is. Silver screen is Bear 1050 when they add the silver screen into it. But that's pretty much what you do. Get silver screen is half, and then go with any kind of Metallica. If you're gonna go down this route, that's gonna be you. Anyway, you can use PPJ. That's it. That'll work. Don't use the Modern Master unless you want to have a heart attack and you want to die in your house, because that stuff is strong as I don't know what. But I use PPJ. Any kind of, go to the hobby store and just buy gold glitter. That's all you have to do is drop it in there. You're not going to see it anyway. Paint the screen, you're done. That's it. That's how Digital One Crystal Screen Paint was made. Now, why am I giving you this? Am I threatened by this? No. Because like I said, everything we have in the house would blow this stuff out of the water. You can add whatever you want to it, whatever you think that may work. Mind you, we made it 8 years ago. I've done every combination you could possibly think of. Yeah, I've exhausted it. So I already know from the door what we have here is way beyond this. Knock yourself up. Hmm. And we'll do a lights out demonstration tonight. I think, yeah, I gotta do a lights out demonstration. We'll do a lights out demonstration with the lights out. And you'll see, it'll do the exact same thing. I literally believe that this was contrast. And it's interesting when you look at your old stuff that you used to have compared to the new stuff you have now, and you look at how wrong you were. And I really thought I was seeing true color and true contrast, and I literally thought, believe I was seeing that. How I was so wrong. And somebody may say, well, how do you know the stuff you're looking at right now might be the wrong stuff? Because I had the two technologies. I can compare them together. If I was wrong, this one would outshine the one I have now, but it doesn't. Oh well, that's the end of that. So, we're going to do another one. We're going to do one at nighttime, because I need to add these to the website. And we're going to have another one. We're going to take the same surface we have from here from the digital and crystal screen paint versus our technology, our new technology, up to date. And you'll see the difference. As I said before, it's easier for me to give you the ingredients on how it's made because, like I said, it's no threat to us because our stuff we have now, the way we develop this stuff is way complicated than what we had 8 years ago. Where, like I said, someone else who basically was shown off for demonstration deleted it because it matched this product. That's why. You only hide things that you fear that basically are going to disrupt your world. And I don't really mind. If you want to make it, go ahead and make it. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's not going to match our technology in any way whatsoever. And it doesn't take anything off my plate at the end of the day. People want the best when it comes to technology, and they want our newest and best technology. And that's why they invest in what we have here. All right, with that being said, thank you for your time. I have to go in. God bless. Next, we'll be doing this at nighttime, and then we have to be outside with the big 150 Black Nova, which I can't wait to do that one. That's going to be so much fun. All right, got to go again, and God bless.